All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Brewing with Birch and Bromley, where we will be going over the recent bannings. Lots and lots of changes, really, on the last episode of Joffice, leading into hopefully more reveals on My Hero Academia, and also leading into I guess it's not really an official tournament, but like the unsanctioned Tim Keefe experimental TTS tournament.
Lots of T's.
Tournament.
Yeah.
Yes, tons of T's in that one. Alphabet soup. That's what we can call that one. But yeah, so we're pretty stoked because every single time that we talk about cards getting banned, they realistically do. And I'd like to think it's because we have a pretty good pulse on the game itself.
Right,
and we're not idiots.
Yeah, not because Jasko's like, let's go listen to those guys, but more because
I think it's a little bit of both. But
no, because last week I literally put it out an hour before their list of bans, so there's no way that Tim Friedley was like got through the entire video in an hour and 2 minutes, and then during the stream said, "Jason, we're banning these cards."
Or he did. Or he
on
did.
stream. If anybody watched the Joffice, right?
He was watching the
stream.
video while the Joffice was playing, and then decided in the moment, like, these guys have a great point. And he was just taking notes, like frivolously writing, you know? He's like scribbling down notes.
Oh, it's great.
This is great. Great idea.
Perfect.
Great idea. 10 card side deck in standard. Perfect.
10 card side deck. Yeah.
Bromley hates attacks on turn 1. Change it for the new format. Change it right now.
The really funny thing is that they're not clear. It looks like they just banned the first player attacking and not the second player attacking on their first turn.
Very, very strange.
Yeah, I think they are. He said that. Oh yeah, that's probably how it is. Is no one's attacking on their first turn.
Sure.
Right.
And just as like an aside, because I don't think we need to talk about this like My Hero stuff like right now, but
sure.
Isn't that don't you just get incredibly omega boned if you draw like nothing but attacks now? Even after a mulligan, like you're just punished super hard. You're just like, oh.
Yeah, there are like two.
I guess I drew two foundations.
So I see this as phase 1 in improving the beginning of the game, right? Because like some people are like, oh, why would they ban that? That makes it so the second player is even further punished, right? Because that's how like Tim Keefe will wax poetic about how the second player going on their first turn can throw like a 3-diff or something like that to like get some value back on their turn. And this is because he plays Kotal Khan and like Spike and
he plays like, oh, here's a cheap attack that I can clear from my card pool.
Exactly. But
I'm never punished.
But that's never been the problem. Like just last night, I played against a Kung Jin who went form, build 2 momentum, Funny Valentine, build the Funny Valentine, Hellfire Impalement, Let's Party, attempted to play a Flame Roar, through a breaker that I used. So I was like, I told Tim, I was like, the problem isn't people just like throwing these inoffensive 3-diffs. Like I'm not worried about bug spray, dude.
Yeah, no one's worried about your cheeky turn 1 saw blade strike.
During the game, I messaged Tim and I was like, hey Tim, guess what's happening?
Did you send him a picture of it?
I should have sent him a picture.
You should have been like screen cap.
He sent me a big old all caps LOL, and I was like, "Don't worry, dude. I'm playing Yoshi. It's not gonna matter."
Don't worry, my shit's broken anyway.
My shit's broken. It doesn't matter. But yeah, so that's the first phase: is getting rid of attacking on turn 1. But like the counterpoint is that second player attacking on their first turn is just as bad as the first player attacking on their second turn, right? Because the second player has now only had 1 turn, just like the first player only had 1 turn, right?
Sure.
So the second phase of this is this Tim Keefe thing. You find some way to give value to the second player.
Right.
And whether that be 2 extra cards, right? Maybe it's that they get to build a free one or something like that. But then that just says, oh, attack, right? If you build cards, if they get free build cards, they just attack, right?
Sure. It definitely makes sense. What you're saying, yeah.
But
it's like a 2-part attack,
And so extra 2 cards helps in a big way. I think a lot of people have been testing it and feeling good. Like Mark Tyner and Barrett Bryant I chatted with him a little bit, and Barrett was really vocal about like, oh, I don't even feel like it's good for like 5-handers. I'm like, what are you talking about? That 5-hander gets to build like a 7-hander now, right?
Yeah, that's
like,
crazy.
Like that's so big. You know, well, I just like playing a 7-hander and being 9-hand size in my first turn. It's like, yeah, of course you do.
Right. I mean, yes. That's the purpose. That's literally the point. Yeah.
That's the purpose.
Get to have more cards.
Yeah. So, but his point was that it felt like they could be more aggressive, and that's like, yes. Now you're second. You're going second, and you feel like you get to be a part of the game as opposed to just being, backtracking until you can stabilize. Like, no,
right.
being able to aggress is great.
You don't have to hold all your blocks and hope.
Yeah.
You can really go a little bit deeper.
Yeah, and think about which ones you
and hope that like. All right, I built 6 and I'm holding 3 in my 7-hand size, right? Like you're like, I can probably not die turn 2.
Yeah.
Like I can actually block a big attack. I can maybe get through this without absolutely losing my ass,
Yeah. The third phase, and I know some people won't agree with me, is fixing mulligan rules.
Sure. I think that second player should have that turbo mulligan. The one where there was like selective. I think that would be. I think that should be their mulligan. I don't understand why it isn't yet.
I have been a big proponent for the Pokemon mulligan, where you show your hand. Pokemon has a rule where if you don't have a starting Pokemon, you show your hand and to confirm to your opponent that you don't have a starting Pokemon, and you pick up 7 more cards. Put those cards on the bottom of your deck, right? And then if you do it again until you have that starting Pokemon. And like the concept in my brain is you just show your hand until you have 3 foundations, right?
So you can actually have a build.
Yeah, like that's probably a little aggressive, and people will try to like finagle this to be like, oh,
almost like a sculpt.
Yeah, I only play 3 foundations in my entire deck. I'm gonna keep mulligan until I see all 3 of them. But Pokemon has the rule where like if you do this too much and you're like taking advantage of it, the judge will literally come over and flip cards until you get a starting Pokemon, and that's your starting Pokemon.
Yeah.
So like
I'm roughly familiar with that one.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah. It could change, the thing, but I liked that when I played Pokemon.
Sure.
On both ends of the, just like regular play, and also for some of the decks that were doing cheesy things, like only playing 1 or 2 kinds of starting Pokemon. And the benefit is for the other player, every time that you mulligan like that, the opponent gets to start with an extra card if they want to. You can't just build them. You can't force them to draw 50 cards, right?
I don't even play any
but
Pokemon.
They're just like, you do it again? Okay, I draw an extra card. You do it again, I'll draw an extra card, right? So you do get punished, really, for doing this too many times. But at the very least, I would like to see a selective mulligan where, like, you drew up your hand and it's, like, 1 foundation and 5 attacks. Like, I'll keep the foundation, right?
Yeah, let me
throw 5 attacks.
These back.
Yeah, and like maybe you get really unlucky. You draw 5 more attacks or something like that. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that should be addressed. But we've certainly come a long way from
attacking.
Yeah, we've come a long way from mulligan. Remove 7 of your attacks at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, get rid of your whole hand.
Yeah, we've come a long way since then. We should go.
Get rid of your whole hand, and if your player 2 like. Sucks, I guess, man.
But that's the first turn in UFS is so important that I think that we want to be pretty aggressive with making sure that people get to play the game.
Sure.
And like, we can wax poetic about, ratios and you should have been playing more foundations, yada 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 yada, but like no, we can fix this if we test and like work at this. So, phase 1, no more attacking on turn 1. I would like that. Phase 2, help the second player get to actually play the game,
Yeah.
And then
absolutely.
Number 3, is fix mulligan, right? Fix mulligan in general. And then I think the whole start of the game conundrum for UFS will be close to fixed. Probably never gonna be perfect, but
it's weird that it's even taken like going on like 15 years to have it like even addressed in this space,
in this sense,
you know what I mean, like where it's like, all right, we were kind of cool with it for like 12, it was like 13 years where it was just like the normal mulligan, right? Like because the just switch your hand out and draw new cards is like a very, very recent change, like within the last 2 years. It was like 2019 or something like that changed. It's just like, okay, all right, now we're starting to like think about how like turn player and like winning the dice roll really does matter that much.
So my understanding is that like turn 2 kills were not common, right?
Oh, back in the day, no.
Yeah,
not at all.
you just couldn't do that. You could poke, like turn one player still had an advantage, but it wasn't so large that you literally could not, like,
Sure.
like you just didn't get to play the game, right? And
Right,
there's a lot of that.
That's-
There's a lot of that now, even with very defensive characters. That it's just like, well, I mean, they nut drew and I just died, because of attack quality in standard, right? So I think that's why the conversation has gotten so much momentum, is just because nobody wants to straight up lose a game because their opponent just sacked, right?
Right. A lot of the issues where people would die quickly were usually addressed in some form or another throughout like the various iterations of UFS, because there has always been ways for you to die on turn 2.
Sure.
But they were never like, this is the standard method of play. So yeah, it is kind of just a, like you say, a product of the game changing so much over the course of its history that now it's like, people really aren't getting to play.
Yeah. Right. Before it was we banned the deck that was winning on 2, right? But like now, like I remember back in even Liu Kang meta, it was like your deck needed to be able to kill on 2. Like not always kill on 2, but have the potential to kill on 2, right?
Yeah, just in case. You need to be able to backswing on 2.
You needed to be able to get there, right? And that's kind of held up in like UFS these days, right? It's just like most decks have that potential that if you like disrespect them, they can just kill you, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why a lot of like I mean, any win con that I have is going to have some sort of backswing that I can throw at you. And tons of people do the same thing where so it's just that the design and also the way that people play the game has changed to the point where turn 1 player has an actual discernible huge advantage, right? It's a very big advantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's nice to see that Jesco is doing this with their cradled babe that is the My Hero environment, right?
No shit.
Yeah, they don't want the My Hero players to feel like they didn't get to play the game.
They certainly know where the cash cow is, dude.
Yeah, or think they have an eye where the pulse is.
Yeah, they're like, this is where we need people to play this. This is how we make all of our money forever.
Right. And I've seen people joke around about like, oh, Jason's just banning all the things that he doesn't like about the game. Yes, he's the owner of the game, dude.
I honestly don't even think that's true, though. Jason, I think if you asked him about any card in the game, he will tell you he loves it.
Sure.
He is like that passionate about like every single card that like he feels like personally attached to all of them, and it just.
Oh yeah, I guarantee that his reaction to like people bringing up the Mortal Kombat stuff is like, man, I really like the Mortal Kombat set. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
and honestly, I think that if you take out the fact that they banned 2 promotional characters, it doesn't look too bad, right?
No.
It looks bad in the sense that, yes, over time, a lot of the cards from the set have been banned, but, like, 2 of those are promos, right? Shinnok and then Quan Chi, again, are promos.
The second Quan Chi, yeah.
Yeah, like, so those are promos.
Also, 1/3 of the bans are just Quan Chi, so...
Right. It's like, dude, there's just, like, a lot of Quan Chi's banned, dude.
So it's 5 characters, 1 attack, right? And 2 of the characters were not in the set to begin with. Like, in the set, they don't have, like, you know.
Right.
So like, yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. I just, you know, like the Princess Berry has been part of several decks over the past like few years that have been on that.
And a little bit too strong.
Right, Shinnok decks all ran Princess Berry. You know,
it is certainly a far cry in development from when I played it in Vega in 2018.
Sure.
Teams to like now, right?
Right.
Like the game has changed even more drastically since then.
Yes.
Where like even on that in that meta, like turn 2 existed, but it wasn't always the thing. So like they didn't keep creating cards to help push Princess Perry's strategy even more further. You know?
Yeah. I was talking a little bit with Kevin Broberg, and we can talk a little bit of his character too.
Sure.
But Kevin was saying that like Princess Perry in the format kind of like reinforces that it's okay for one check to exist that's just a 1-for-1 for a card in your opponent's hand, right?
Sure.
And not just card in your hand, but like an attack.
Sure.
And like that is huge, right? Like that's a big deal. Like the Princess Party is a hand trap and an attack, and it deletes one of your things, right?
Right.
And so like I don't know. I there's a reason why lots of people only play Dark Curio decks, and it's because they really fucking hate Princess Berry,
really
right?
hate Princess Berry.
They just hate Princess Berry. So
yeah, I totally get it.
And as
totally
if you've ever played Princess Berry, because I played tons of Princess Berry decks, you know, you've played tons of Princess Berry decks. I mean, playing into Dark Curio decks is like, oh, that sucks.
You have to like prepare. You know, you got to have like your outs.
You have to have.
You got to
ways
play like
to
the
flip
Akuma
it.
card that flips it.
You got to play things to flip it. You got to seal it. You got to yada yada. But like I saw like a Goro deck that ran Princess Berries because he could just pick it up, and he can't play it, but he could just delete one of your attacks. And at that point, I'm like,
that's pretty good.
Like if a Goro is picking up Hellfire, Burst Time, Princess Parry,
yeah.
Maybe the card. Maybe the card's gone a little.
Maybe that card shouldn't be able to do its effect if you don't share a symbol.
Yeah. The second thing they banned was just forehanders, right? I was pretty surprised that they errated Diamond Crusher and banned Shiva.
It felt really weird to me.
I get it.
I think one or the other made sense, but I guess it is a thing you don't want to enforce where people are just throwing a 20 damage attack, right?
Sure.
And like there are methods in standard UFS where you could still get that thing to be a gigantic attack.
Yeah, right? I was playing a kill like that was just trying to yeet a giant Diamond Crusher at you. I mean, it was just like
I'm not going to pretend I know what Liu Kang does now, but I assume Liu Kang could probably Diamond Crusher people. I'm not going to pretend I know what he fucking does.
Well, like we've seen Spikes that have done it. We've seen Tiras that have done it. We've seen Karamas even that do it. Now that Cutman's back in the format. So like I understand eroding it. I'm okay with that. I'm not disagreeing with it. I was just surprised because of the way
it shocked me.
Yeah, Jasko usually goes with things because they did this with both Shiva and with Kevin Broberg, where they nerfed the tools. For Shiva, it was nerfing the Diamond Crusher, and then the character is gone, right? And I think Shiva and Goro being banned is kind of them admitting that forehand size is just not tenable in this format, right?
They have to be like too good, pretty much.
Yeah, to work, they have to be absolutely bonkers, right? And that's what Shiva and Goro were. You know,
I really do think Shiva could exist in a world where Diamond Crusher was never printed, but the combination there was a lot. Obviously, she still had access to cards like Air Ground Smash and stuff, right?
Yeah, and Phantom Driver.
But I think like her symbols could have been different enough to allow her to exist, but it was like a lack of testing that prevented that from happening. If she doesn't have Air Ground Smash, she's probably a perfectly fine character. Like if she doesn't have water, she can't Phantom Driver, she can't Air Ground Smash.
Yeah.
So like that is probably just testing oversight.
Yes. I think that the design was kind of innately, I'm not going to say toxic, but it's definitely not fun to play into.
Oh,
right?
Sure.
Like,
no, not at all.
You can't block. All your stuff gets +1 progressive, and if I have more things, even more +1 to their progressive. And it's not like Shokan; it's like things in your card pool. So if you do attack, then she stuffs it back into your card pool again. So
and
I think
she can play Shokan.
Yeah, and she can play Shokan, and so like the character was just kind of like it. If she got the ball rolling, she was very strong. She was very oppressive, right? And she didn't get the ball rolling, then she just feels kind of like a wet noodle. And then on the other,
she's a weird, she's weird. Like from what you're saying in that, where she has like a very high, but also a super low.
Super low. You know,
because she does have a strict 4 hand size if you don't draw any
and real
attacks.
real costs to her abilities. You know, so it's just I think she was kind of a poor design. In that like it was relying on Air Ground Smash to function, and Air Ground Smash felt like way too strong in it, right? And anytime you build a card that just relies on one card, then it's going to, and that's the crux for it, then it's going to feel bad. It's going to feel bad on both ends of the table, and that's what ended up happening. And she ended up getting even more, and yada yada yada.
It's like a strictly like a contrast to Jackie Briggs, who with air ground fast feels really strong, right? But she's not sitting behind defense as well.
I mean, and she can kill you with anything.
Here's my hand. I'm gonna try and kill you. If I don't, I'm pretty vulnerable. Typically, like yes, you get to draw back cards, which is super strong as well. But Jackie Briggs isn't also stuffing your opponent's card pool and making it so they can't block. She's generally just like, here's big stats, I draw cards.
Yeah.
Which is good. It's very good. And that character hasn't really moved away from being a very good character. But it's like Shiva was doing that with big stats, plus big, like, stopping your opponent from doing things, plus card draw, plus 40 life or whatever she had. And it's just like, this is a bit much. Like, pump the brakes here.
Yeah, I understand it. And I'm okay with Jasko just saying, like,
sure,
nuke forehands from orbit, because that's what I said it last time. I don't think that they should exist.
Yeah, and they said they were gonna go back and I believe errata or like function errata. I don't think they need to do that. I think it's so stupid.
So there was a funny thing. Somebody asked about the Shiva thing, if they were gonna bring her back, and Tim Friedlieb just responded with the picture of 5 hand size. Which I thought was hilarious, just stunning. Just picture 5 hand size.
Jesus Christ!
Over like the where it has the hand size in the circle. And and it's just that with the number 5 over it.
You just put a 5 there.
That was it. It was really funny. So I think that's where they're gonna go with it.
Yeah, I mean, you can tune her down and make her a 5 hand size character.
Yeah,
like
sure.
It's totally doable. I don't love how they errata things. I think it's kind of weird. It always like, because it always gives me strong like Quan Chi vibes.
Sure.
Where like, since they've been doing this, like there's always potential to just have to ban it again. And that seems so strange to me. Like, you could just, why not just call this an errata and we're unbanning it? Like, go MRP with it. Call it an MRP errata or something.
I know exactly the answer to it. It's because they want the barrier to entry to be as low as possible, which you can disagree or agree with, right?
Sure.
Right? They want it to be like, they want there to be a physical card for it, right?
I think you can reprint the card though, but not have to add a second dot to it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, yeah.
Like,
errata and call it an MRP.
They could have just changed Quan Chi's card and still kept him Quan Chi 1.
To be fair, that's what they did with Maxi, right?
Yeah, Maxi is Maxi 1 still?
Yeah, he's 1. He's Maxi 1. So that's exactly what they did with Maxi.
Okay, so they do. Maybe that is the route they will go.
So
with
it, I think that's.
I thought he was 2.
I think that's what they'll do. I think that's what they'll do. They kind of realize the error of their ways.
Okay, now that is how I would support it.
Yeah.
So I didn't notice they did that with Maxi. I totally forgot Maxi was even banned at one point.
Right.
But yeah, no, that is the way I would like appreciate them doing it, where you just like, here is your promos, like just send them out a bunch to your stores or whatever and be like, hey, give these out for X, Y, and Z, blah blah blah, new players have them now, blah blah blah, like here are your physical copies of your MRP cards.
And then the second thing they sort of nerfed the tools for, and then the user was Kevin Broberg 2.
Yeah, Kevin Broberg.
So they nerfed Princess Perrier by banning it, and then they also touched both sides of the card, which perhaps they should have done with Tim Keefe too.
Maybe.
But yeah,
maybe.
So the response minus to your check is capped at 4. And the form is still build 1 from your hand, but if you have 2 assets, you build 1 from your hand and get the top card of your deck. So he doesn't have like 9 hand size energy.
Yeah, he's not 9 hand size.
Yeah, and like it's not like people who were just calling it hand size. It's not quite that, but it does slow him down a little bit. And like it's a clever sort of way to nerf that part of the ability. I don't think it's earth-shattering for Kevin Broberg players. I think that you can still play him. It's just not going to be that deck, right? He's
not going to be he's not going to be that deck because he's not going to be able to just sit behind parries.
He
obviously
can't do parry stuff, right? So
then Pulse Flare becomes more difficult for sure.
Yeah.
Because you still you're losing defense to do it.
Yeah. I mean, but like I think it's still playable.
Sure.
I think that you might see some like good builds, good symbol builds.
Yeah, that's where my mind went to, because you could build down your selective cards and then pick them back up later very easily.
Yeah, and in retro, I think that an evil build still exists with like Maxima Laser.
Yeah.
I think that in the same way that good build can exist with Sorget. Not Sorget.
Now here I do have a question. Is he now unbanned in retro?
I would assume so. But they didn't say.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Because it's like, you ratted him. Did you also unban him in retro? Because I know that was one where they said, I think they said unbanning Big Cyclone, which I think they put tentatively like subject to change. But like,
right. So I'll assume when they come back with retro, which is probably next month,
sure.
Then they'll have like new rules and new bands. Hopefully they'll go really wild with it.
Hopefully we can play Bang.
Yeah.
Please let people play Bang. The format's too crazy. Let people play Bang.
Oh, it's not too crazy, man. Like
its top side is very top heavy.
Sure, but they've been doing the right things and trimming the top side. I think that they should let in some of the open the gates a little. To things like Gemini Man and the Whitsoul, just don't let them stack, and you're good. And then ban Blindfold and see if Cowboy Andy's still too much of a problem. He is.
Sure.
And
we'll answer that for you.
Let Meteor go through. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that what happened is Tim and Jason were going down the list of things in standard, and then they ran out of time and didn't get the Cowboy Andy.
Oh, you might be onto something. They were like, that's all the time we've got.
That's all the time. Time for Travis. Go. Time for
we gotta go. We've got a strict schedule.
Or they went through all of it and they're like, okay, we can ban one thing from the DLCs.
Yeah. Jason was like, don't admit mistakes. Don't ever show weakness.
Don't show weakness.
Don't show weakness. There is no fear in this dojo.
But yeah, I would assume there's gonna be like a big ol' like state of the game style thing for retro when it does come back. Sure. And Broberg will of course be brought back for it because I think he's a really fun character. I think if he's not just not interacting with you, and just builds for fucking 14 turns, he's actually quite cool. Broberg did top a PTC with him with a good symbol list last year. Sure. And like I remember when Tyner showed me his dinky little pulse flare list back in February, I was like, this is really cool and fun. And then he just kept playing it.
He just kept going,
Kept going.
Like the Energizer
then,
Bunny, dude.
Like at first he was like trying to yeet me very early in the game, and then I think he sort of just slowly like learned that he didn't need to yeet.
He's like, what if I just wait the whole game?
What if I just sat here? Like I don't think it had parries originally.
Remarkably well.
It might have, but yeah, he just sat there. He just built every asset in the deck, and I was like, that's not good. Yeah. It is a little sad that Void is kind of bad in standard, but maybe in retro, when retro comes back, Void is very good in retro, and perhaps it could have some legs there. But
I wish they would make some kind of promo,
right?
Just to make Void not be the worst symbol.
Like
ever.
they did with Chaos with these 2 new cards.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, are kind of fucked.
What if we just hit up like a Piercing Howl promo? Just bring back Piercing Howl, put a sick little new border, a little new finish on it,
sure,
and just be like, Void, Chaos, and Air?
Yeah.
Use 3 symbols that are dog shit?
Well, it's
just saying.
So I think
Tim Friedlieb.
I think they kind of did that with the Sleigh Ride / Squirrel, Sleigh Ride the Squirrel, and then the Present whatever. I don't know, the tech attack.
More like bashing through the snow.
Great
name for a card, guys.
That would be
Christmas
a great name.
Promo 2021.
Well, that card. If you look at that card, it's like, look at all these things we haven't had support for in a while, guys. It's like momentum, hijinks with your opponent, right?
Sure.
It's a tech attack with water for Jackie Briggs. It's chaos, and chaos hasn't had a card since. And I think
they're really going for it.
They both have air too. They just gave it water instead of void.
They were like, fuck void.
Fuck void.
I don't want void to do anything, Bromley. It's thematic.
The really funny thing is have you read the Slay Red card? Everyone's they're really in on the response, but the enhance on it is nuts. It's like flip for 2 damage plus the number of their momentum.
Do you know how long it took me to find the new bands they just announced yesterday? There is no fucking anywhere to look for this shit.
Tim just made one. Tim just made one actually today.
It was released Friday.
Yes. I'm not disagreeing.
I could not find the ban list before they changes, Bromley.
Okay.
It doesn't exist on their website. How do you fucking have a ban list that doesn't exist? You think I found the sleigh ride cards?
No way.
No way.
Listen, cards only exist on TTS these days. Let's be real.
Dude, I was like, surely I could check news to find things. Fuck no. The last news article's from October.
Yeah, it was the state of the game. I checked that
Combat
too.
Ash is banned.
Yeah.
That was the last news article. Combat Ash has been banned for months.
That is funny. No.
Oh, man.
Fuck you, Phil Birch. You gotta memorize it from the Jaffa's video.
I was just like, what were the erratas? I was trying so hard to figure out what changed.
Right.
I was like, what did they errata? I know the bands. What did they errata?
Do you know how excited I was when they said Tagura Brothers, dude?
I bet you had a fucking huge choker. I'm glad it's just functional.
You know, one of those. And then it was just, oh no, it just, when you play it, you draw a card or remove it. So it's the same thing. It's just you don't have the situation where, like, I think Sam and Jose had some sort of situation at a tournament where they didn't know how it worked. But
was it like the attack got negated or some shit, or what?
I don't
know. I was so confused on what like the scenario was.
I don't know. I can't comment on it. We'll have to ask Jose. Have to ask producer Jose.
And then they changed like functional erratas to fade and pure of heart, which I also don't understand because I don't read the rules, so I don't.
Pure heart, I understand because it's like it was some like weird Vegas logic where like they were like, I pure hearted your card and then I swordfished your attack. That card you can't use it because it never resolved. Which is not it's not how that works.
Oh.
But
it was a change to the E, like so it never
refreshes because the card never
happened. It's like the Black Bear Diner thing.
Yeah, Black Bear Diner actually works like that, which is kind of degenerate. But
at least it makes sense. Yeah. As opposed to like this card on the table steals you forever.
Sungmina also doesn't beat throw anymore. If a card would try to go back to their hand, it just doesn't do it anymore. It just, that's their card.
Yeah, she's not just like free removing attacks from the game,
right,
from your opponent, which was a weird anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, it was stupid. And then the fade thing is if it cancels it and then the card removed itself for cost, it doesn't put it back in their hand. So you can't bang, remove for cost, and then fade it, and then the guy's like, okay, grab it from RFG. So fade.
So wait, does it just stop bang now?
It stops bang. Yeah.
That's a good card now.
Yeah, because fade says cancel it, right? It says It says cancel the card's effects and put it back in their hand. So it beats bang's enhance remove cost, not the response,
that's cool,
right? And so any card that removes for cost, it does beat. It doesn't beat things like revoke because revoke discards.
It doesn't remove for cost. Yeah.
It removes for effect. Yeah, effect. So yeah.
That's cool though. So it's just like kind of just strictly like a better card now.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely better. It's definitely better. Yeah.
Fade Akuma, watch out, guys. He's coming in hot. He can't be banged anymore.
Can't be banged anymore. True. He'll fade your bang, dude. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, those are the bans and erratas, to my understanding, right? So we got Libra has to catch up with Mortal Kombat's bans.
Libra's really lacking now.
Smoking Libra at this point. And if you consider Shiva a Mortal Kombat character, even further ahead, dude. Even further ahead.
Fucked up. Another Mortal Kombat character gets banned. Striker's never gonna be safe.
Yeah. Man,
ban him next.
Just let why don't we do a thing where we like let Striker live because that character's bad. Just let him be well committed, dude.
He's the only one.
Yeah. Let him do something well committed. Anyway.
There were actually retro bans, which were less surprising, right? Subtech, and Terry. Fucking whatever, dude. Everybody knew that was gonna happen. So.
Yep. Nothing to really report there.
Much to the chagrin of Sam Tate. Terry did nothing wrong.
Terry, I think he changed his name on
changed his
Discord to Terry did one thing wrong.
Oh, did he say one thing wrong?
Yeah, did one thing wrong.
Oh my god. Yeah, true.
The really funny thing is he came into I think it was Shameless, and he was like, all right, help me build a deck. Sorry. Earlier this week, he was like, I'm testing some decks, and I was like, just play this Yoshi list. And he was like, I don't know, dude, I don't want to do this thing. And then I explained the thing. He was like, that sounds pretty cool. I don't want to do it. And then 2 days went later, and he went to Shameless, and he was like, how do I find a deck that punishes aggro? And I was like, just play Yoshi, dude. And then he never replied to me. He just doesn't want to play Yoshi, dude.
He doesn't want to be.
Listen.
He doesn't want to. Maybe he wants to. He wants to get under his own wings and just branch out.
Yeah, but he was asking. He
wants to find the next OP thing that he built.
He didn't build that deck. That was Tam.
Before he goes, well, yeah, he wants to find he wants to be the OP thing now.
Sam,
he goes back to other people's decks, just in case.
No, Sam is a pilot. Sam is his pilot.
He wants to be the next person to find out that Chirog Jane Gash doesn't suck. All right, he wants to be the next one. It can't just be you and me figuring these things out.
You're right, dude. You're right. My bad. Sam Tate, don't play Yoshimitsu. That's my character. Fuck you.
Sam Tate, don't be a shill. You got this, buddy. Play an Earth deck in Standard.
Yeah,
Tim Keefe too.
Tim Keefe too. You got it.
You can piss off Bromley.
You will.
Yep. You will.
You will. You sure fucking will, dude. Play Tim too. Oh boy.
We've got a tournament coming up.
Yeah.
The TTSTTKTSPQRXTYWZ.
XX42069 XX.
Yep. Blaze it.
Blaze it.
All caps. Blaze it in all caps.
Okay.
That's our gamer tag actually.
Yeah.
From our Xbox.
XX420 no scopes. Blaze
Tim
it.
Keefe
6-9.
Invitational. Blaze it.
Tim Keefe.
XXX.
Yo, our gamer score is actually 420,069.
It is actually that. We're just that sick.
Yeah, just that sick.
Anyway, so this is Tim Keefe's own little pocket of event. I believe he's going in with it with the fine gentleman over at Rochester CCG. I believe they are shelling out for a sick tournament. Online tournament. Player 2 gets to go. I don't know the logistics. Is it they get to draw 2 extra cards?
So
or is it plus 2 hand size? There has to be a logistics here.
I don't know, man. I think I'm just straight up gonna call Tim Keefe.
It's pretty important. Let's get him in here to explain it. Honestly, if we can get Tim Keefe to just snap join this to explain the TTS TK TSPQWX 420 Blaze it on the fly with no prior warning, that would be pretty cool.
All right, we're gonna do this.
Oh god, my fucking camera just turned off. He did that.
We need to get him in here.
My camera hated that.
Your camera hated it, dude.
It turned off. I don't even know. Yeah, it just he declined.
Damn it.
Son of a bitch.
Tim, I need help.
Yeah, we need to figure out the stupid logistics. Mid raid. Oh no.
Oh no. Mid raid.
All right. Well, we're not getting.
That's okay. Have fun, buddy. Okay.
All right, so
I need to fix our scene.
As far as I know, while Bromley's fixing the scene, the second player gets plus 2 hand size, I believe, on their first turn. So I think that characters like Jackie Briggs don't get punished by this format. I believe she'd still be able to draw the additional 3 cards and not like just lose out on cards.
Yeah, so my understanding is you dropped your hand size as normal during the mulligans, and then when it gets to your turn, you
2 hand size.
Plus 2 hand size during the draw step, right?
Yeah.
Because you do have a draw step, so you'll be able to review from let's say you're a 6-hander. You're the second player. You go to your turn after. Sorry, you drop your 6 cards for the beginning of the game. You mulligan if you need to. Go back to your 6-hand size. The first player plays their turn, and they play Hellfire, Burst Time, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
The classic combination.
Yeah. And then you blocked 2 of them and you want to review, so you have 3 cards in your hand. After the review, you draw up not 3 cards, but 5 cards, because now you have 8 effective hand size for the first turn. Make sense? Because it's whatever your hand size is plus 2 for that turn, which is eloquent.
I mean, that makes sense to me.
So Jackie Briggs would, if she's going second, look at your stuff. She'd draw 3 cards, and she would discard down to 5, and then she would go to her turn, draw 2 more cards,
which is pretty cool.
Yep.
Very cool.
Pretty neat. Pretty neat.
Okay. Yeah. So it's besides that. Now that they have changed the standard rule to have a 10-card side deck, I believe the only other changes they are allowing Stormwaft to be played, because it probably shouldn't be banned anyways at this point.
Right. Yeah. Stormwaft
it doesn't actually even do enough to be banned probably at this point, but
so does it get speed or damage? It's like
it gets speed for weapons and damage for like techs or some shit.
Let me go look at it.
It's one of those things.
Because I believe speaking of Jackie Briggs, it's a tech attack.
That card is going to be pretty cool.
2 of her symbols, right? So she can't use the fire in hand, so it doesn't get stun in her. But it gets +1 speed for each weapon and +1 damage for each tech. Okay, so it's just 3 high, 9 in her. I don't even think she's going to play that.
No, probably not. Like, not many people are actually going to sit around and play this card. That's why it's like, why is it still banned?
Yeah. I think people will play it, and then they're gonna lose.
That card, it made a lot of sense for that card to be banned when it was. It was a much different time. It was a little slower, and a lot of decks were hinging on 3 difficulty attacks in like mass. This is around the time when like 24 attack decks were like broken.
Right.
Because it was just like spam out a bunch of cheap attacks. Out a bunch of cheap attacks. But that's not like how the game works.
Yeah, it's like if things were like value oriented, where like, you know, a 3 diff shouldn't be doing 6 damage. Yeah, it's nuts. But like as it is right now, it's like things are so I don't want to say combo, but like dunk oriented that like 6 damage is just like, wait, you threw a 3 high 6 at me?
It's very cool,
4 high.
But it's not like it's the most insanely fast card. And it's not like it's hitting for 50,
It's
right?
certainly a really good card, right? 3 diff 4 high 4 by itself is pretty good.
It's pretty cool in fire decks, which aren't super overpowered right now anyway. So like, you get stun 1 if your character happens to have fire, and like that's kind of cool.
Pretty neat. Ship it. Let's see how it works out. Yeah, prove us wrong, Jackie Briggs players. Show us your 4 high 10s or whatever.
Dude, it'd be kind of cool. Yeah. I mean, if Jackie Briggs
4 high 10s.
Storm off, I'm gonna be like, oh shit.
Yeah, actually, no, that seems pretty good. Your 3 difficulty 4 high 10s. Okay, all right, I'm on board.
She's only got so many cards to throw, but you can throw that on turn 1 with your 2 extra hand size.
Oh no! Hang on, I don't like this anymore.
3 diff nightmare, get wrecked.
Taking me off of Jackie Briggs' wild ride, dude.
But yeah, I mean, besides that, like it's gonna perform pretty much like a normal standard tournament.
Sure.
Do you see what kind of decks do you see really like maybe taking the next step up because of this rule?
I'm gonna look at the Legendary Wolf Games tournament this week, which I signed up for. And so we got a Samina, who I think is doing like Ice Dragon things. We got Sakura. Aaron
Is this following the +2 hand size rule?
No, but I think a lot of people are using this to kind of test the waters for the event.
Test it out, yeah. Try it out, yeah.
The Sakurava Life. Then we got Lilith off of Water, which is interesting.
Sure.
There's a Yoshi playing off of All, some dickhead playing Yoshi.
Who?
Daniel Mosley playing Jackie Briggs.
Is it Hell's Reach and Fatality?
No,
you
I'm not. I am not playing Hell Vortex.
Are you not want to double dip with Hell's Vortex?
You don't need that because you have Meteor. Why would I mill you when I could just wait for you to overextend and dunk you? Hang on.
Because you milled out Kung Jin, dude. Easy.
I didn't mill him. He scooped. So the Jackie Briggs of Air, probably using that new foundation and the new asset or the new attack, and then Kung Jin on fire, which I saw yesterday. Which that was nice. He actually showed up and like, you know how sometimes when you pull the character off your deck and you see the top card of their deck, I saw Spirit Sword Thrust and I was like, hey dude, that card doesn't have fire, air, or chaos. Do you want to go fix your deck real quick? and he was like, "Oh shit, I thought that card worked." Like he mixed it up with a bunch of Mr. Beast things. So I messaged Kevin and I was like, "Hey man, we're gonna fix this guy's deck so he actually play this game." And then he proceeded to attack me 3 times on turn 1. Ooh, curses!
Yeah, you shouldn't have given him any. You should have waited for him to throw that.
Yeah, I should have told him afterwards. You're right. Then there's a Bianca. No, he was. It was a funny match. I mean, like if I were not playing Yoshi, I would have been really pissed. But
sure,
I was playing Yoshi, so we were fine. Biako off of air. Oh, that's funny. Biako with the new foundation because he's milling a bunch. He probably gets a bunch of momentum. That's Jeremy Pobiel.
He also can play Stormwaff. And
can play Oh, dude, Stormwaff in Biako's pretty hype. That's pretty hype.
Stormwaff.
Damn. John Owens playing Spike 1. Okay. Yeah. Spike 1, yeah, off water. Josh Gardner's playing Tira 1. We got a Ken 2. Mario Cervantes, who repping
Ken.
Only
plays Ken 2, right?
Yeah, he keeps iterating his Ken deck. He's the man.
You can play Stormwaff.
Martin McMahon on Talum 2. Okay, all right, okay. Mike Nelson playing Johnny Cage. The good old Mike Nelson on Johnny Cage.
I love that deck.
Nick Reagan playing Akuma. He's accepting his inner aggro and playing Akuma.
Okay.
And Osai's playing Kurama. Neat. Osai's just doing he's doing the grand tour of water 7-handers at this point.
Yeah, it seems like it. I was gonna say he could do like basically the same thing.
Yeah. Interesting.
I guess it's functionally worse now because you can't like hit them for 50 with your Diamond Crusher.
Yeah, but I mean,
is that card? So that card's just for 10 now, right?
Just for 10, at least, because you can still put other things on it, right? But it is pick one of their things, and then it's also for 10 damage. Yeah. The last 2 are Sam Tate's playing Lord Raptor and Zach Paisley stealing Jose's Wen.
Wen is a character that gets a huge buff for getting 2 extra cards.
If he gets 2 extra cards and he gets to build, oh man. Talk about, like, listen. The only way Wen ever kills you is by absolutely sacking. So, you know what helps him? Is if he gets 2 extra cards. Easier.
Dude, I think that can kill people without sacking. Jose's just a really good sack.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Dude, minus a lot to your block check is pretty good.
Fair enough, dude. Fair enough.
All right, I think that's pretty good. Like,
yeah, it looks like
a nice sampling of the meta.
I wouldn't be surprised by any of those showing up on Saturday, right? Like
Sakura would surprise me.
Sakura, yeah. Sakura's for sure, but like that's a lot of characters that are playing with the new Christmas Foundations and attacks.
Sure, yeah.
Playing with Sturmwaff, just like generally good stuff. So it's a good little sneak peek. So if you're like thinking about playing something, and you're like, what are these people doing? Go check out the Legendary.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. I'm trying to think of things that could just like turn 2 or just really taking the edge. I think it's a tremendous advantage for Tim Keefe too.
Mm-hmm.
Like an even bigger advantage.
Sure.
He gets 9 cards to try and attack you with on turn 1.
Oh Jesus.
I'm building Tim Keefe 2 off of Earth actually later.
Please no.
It's gonna be sick.
Please no. He certainly hasn't lost anything, so.
Certainly hasn't.
And everything else has been nerfed. So.
Yeah. Really can't wait for it. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, like people who already were good at turn 2 get way stronger.
Sure.
I would expect to see a lot of like strong characters like
going
Kevin
second.
Broberg going second.
Yep, very good.
That's super good now. Like he even has the extra card for like building 1 down doesn't matter, right? Like he's gonna have a huge build on 1 potentially.
Yeah, I agree.
And still be able to hold more defense than just like the 1 or 2 cards he got to hold before and hope. Like hope you can get by on your check heck. Like he can actually play like a nice defense where Kevin Broberg won't build too many cards and die turn 2 twice in the tournament. That would never happen.
Hopefully not, dude.
Again.
Hopefully not.
Well, as far as I know, he's commentating, so he won't be involved actually with
Right, yeah. Broberg is going to be doing himself a commentate.
Yeah, I think it's Sean Tam and Broberg, I believe.
Yep.
Fun cast.
Not
fun. Me, but that's okay. We'll keep myself. I'll keep myself available for Tam in the future. Don't worry.
Of course, dude.
I'll have to chew him out though for not even messaging me a single time and letting me know. Pretty fucked up if you ask me. I got dumped, and it's so close to Valentine's Day, Bromley.
Dumped you, dude?
Yeah, dude. You didn't even let me know.
It's okay, dude. I'll make myself available for you, Bubby.
Hell yeah, dude. We're gonna go win this tournament. One of us. We're gonna fucking I don't know. Whatever it is you guys do when you guys are playing in the tournament. I don't know, talking TTS or Discord the whole time. I don't fucking know.
Absolutely. Yeah, lose.
We gotta get Bo to play.
Lose real quick and then go talking TTS.
Easy. We'll get Bo to play too. It'll be a whole.
For sure.
It'll be a whole ordeal.
Yeah.
It'll be a whole ordeal. I don't think there's anything different though with like to expect here, right? We're actually gonna get some pretty good players, right? I believe Mark Tyner, Jacob Johnson, Barrett are all playing.
Yep.
As far as I know.
They were all gonna play Kevin Broberg, but now they gotta find a new deck.
They gotta figure it out. You're gonna play. That's pretty good.
Yep.
I'm gonna play.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's
I don't
pretty
play
good.
shit. I hate TTS, and I'm gonna be playing a deck with one checks in it. It's gonna be fucking sweet. I'm so ready to rage.
No, you're not. You're gonna play Tim Keefe. You're gonna play
I'm
a
gonna
bunch
play
of two
Tim
checks.
Keefe with one checks in it.
Oh no.
Ooh, more to come on this one. More to come.
Oh no.
More to come on this one.
Ooh.
But yeah, I don't know who else is playing in it, but I'm sure it's pretty good. I expect Tim Keefe's not playing in it, but like, what is he doing?
I think he's judging.
He's the judge. Okay, I was like, Tim Keefe's gonna be somewhere. He's got to be. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Last I heard, there were 40 plus players. So
ooh, already, and I didn't even sign up.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I should probably go do that. I think I
go
have
do
to pay
that
extra now.
Yeah, go sign up, buddy.
I waited so long, I have to pay more money to do this.
Yeah, but stay tuned later this week when we're gonna be doing the deck list evisceration, our monthly deck list.
Friday?
Friday's John Henry's thing, so we gotta do Thursday.
Not Friday.
Yeah.
Thursday. I can do Thursday.
Thursday. Let's say
It has to be evening.
have to be evening.
I work till 7.
Okay, 9 p.m.
Thursday at 9. Thursday at 9, we will be on twitch.tv/unfunstuff.
Yep.
Live reviewing deck lists that hopefully people have sent to us. I made a post about it.
Yeah, they sent us some stuff.
Excellent.
We've got some really neat ones.
Oh, we got some cool stuff to go over? I love that.
Yeah, dude. Sponsored by Publix Chalky Milk. Yeah.
Publix Chalky Milk.
Yeah.
Get your Chalky where you get your pub sub. Easy.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
But yeah, once again, thanks for tuning in. As always, shilling has to ensue. Subscribe to our Patreon. Hit up that YouTube sub.
Yep.
Check out the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/unfunstuff. We have a Teespring. The Teespring's kind of just a meme, but like if you have any t-shirt ideas, we just throw them together and it's cool.
that's
like,
really what it is.
They're nice shirts.
They are nice.
They're nice shirts. But like we're not really trying to do anything with that. We just think that they're cool.
We take those. Dude, we take those.
Show them the back, dude.
Oh, the back?
Yeah, the back's important.
The back is the fun part. Sorry,
it's
the unfun part.
Look how big the logo is. That's
so
sick.
It's so sick, dude.
That's so sick. But yeah, thanks again for tuning in. We are going to do, like you said, the deck reviews later. February 3rd, first episode of Getting Filled In. We're going to learn some lore, baby. It's going to be sick.
Some lore. It's going to be great.
Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in again. We'll be back next week with results for this whole fucking shebang and see if anything else gets banned, I guess. Take care, guys.